What's good, everybody? It's your boy Jay back at it again, and today we got America's Most Evil Company by Gatsu. You already know what the deal is. Subscribe to the channel, support Jay's there, and Jay's here. And without further ado, let's get started.
Yes, I don't know. This is a long hesitation.
There's so many questions and
Should the human race survive?
Yes, obviously.
Palantir's website is one of those where they just say shit without actually meaning anything. AI-powered automation for every decision? What the f***?
That sounds so dystopian, bro. Like, I ain't gonna hold y'all. That AI stuff scares me, bro. Cause AI, bro, we already seen it now, bro. Everybody using ChatGPT and AI to do their homework and to do it to, you know what I'm saying, get answers, bro. Imagine when it gets to a point to where people can just use AI to deliver. They already got delivery robots, but what if they become more mainstream? What if you just have a robot to cook for you? I've seen that in kitchens where they have automatic, like, cooks, bro. Like, it's already hard enough getting a job, and AI is just going to make that harder for so many people.
What are you even talking about, man? And every video on this topic is so confusing. Nobody actually explains what they do, except me, of course. Palantir is the crystal ball from Lord of the Rings that allow people using it to see what is going on the other side of the world and also communicate with each other. And I think that explains basically everything that Palantir is doing. It is Big Brother. It is basically a big
1984, bro. This sounds like a robot doing everything. We're getting closer into a Brave New World, Fahrenheit 451 dystopian landscape. We're getting closer and closer to that. It's step by step by step.
Data collection company where they look at many different sets of data, connect the dots, and use it to determine if you have been a good boy or not in government's eyes. That is one of their uses, because they do whatever their client needs at the time, because their client list stretches from the United States Army and CIA and FBI to ICE and to Wendy's. For example, they analyze all the data and help ICE figure out who is overstaying their visa, where they might be according to their family connections, workplaces, social media.
Yo, this is so crazy, bro. This has gone too far. Yo, this is scary, bro. We really got some, George Orwell type of technology, bro. You could quite literally be minding your business and the government can track you down that easily, bro. That is terrifying. That is terrifying, bro. I ain't gonna hold y'all, bro.
Information and phone numbers, and when they analyze all that data with the help of AI, they get the answer, and ICE gets to plan arrests and deportations. And Wendy's uses them to make their supply chain better, to get you your cheese sauce in a more productive fashion. They get these answers by just pulling massive amounts of data from everywhere and putting that data through AI to figure out the answer, whether it's deportations or Wendy's supply chains. They also work with healthcare companies. Whether or not you like Palantir is up to whether or not you are a Western supremacist, because that is the company's whole idea. Just hear the CEO out.
But the problem I care about is making America the dominant military force on the planet in a way that's so indisputable that our enemies and adversaries wake up in moderate to extreme fear and go to bed in moderate to extreme fear.
For now, what they do is basically analyze data so the government can use it. There's also a reason why Palantir's stock has rose rapidly after Trump came to power, because many of Palantir's former employees are in the Trump administration now, and also because Peter Thiel, the guy in the beginning, has donated $1.5 million to Trump in...
Bro, it's all interwoven, bro. They're trying to get so much power for themselves. It's ridiculous.
2016 and $15 million to JD Vance. They also help the army that uses bombs to do gender reveals in Gaza. Palantir has had to deal with a lot of protests recently because of their involvement in the Gaza war, because they help Israel select targets in Gaza. Even a lot of their employees quit after this, and this company personally scares me a lot because they...
Yeah. Oh, just use a VPN, bro. Just use NordVPN, bro. That doesn't work when the government can track you down to your exact location using AI and various other forms of data. That doesn't work, bro. They got the whole every street. They got buildings like outlined, like, bro. They can track you down and get you out of there, bro. They can track you down. Even if you go off the grid, they can still probably catch you with how much info they got. It's honest to God ridiculous.
Infinite funding now to spy on people and give companies and governments their...
Yeah, now that they're interwoven and congruent with Trump's administration, they're gonna have far more power, far more authority, and far more wealth to be able to do all the nefarious things they want to do, bro.
And as you realize, this does not only include the American and Israeli governments, but also currently the UK one, where Palantir has been arguing with British doctors about how they don't actually know what's best for patients because the doctors thought Palantir was a sus company.
Oh. Yeah. And you know, well, if you do you want to hear my answer? Okay. So the primary source of in Palestine is the fact that Hamas has realized that there are millions and millions of useful idiots that will mostly terrorists. That's true.
The only thing I can think about is that America became everything it was accusing China of doing.
Yes, bro. We be.
They use face tracking software to judge if you're a good.
That's the problem. I feel like America's gone down this rabbit hole of dystopian technology where it's like China's definitely in that dystopian era right now, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. However, ever since 9/11, it's like the United States has just had complete mass surveillance and things of that nature, bro. Because here's the thing. In what scenario would your biggest opponent, your biggest op, be the person you trade with the most? That's what I'm thinking about. Because in almost every other... Because I'm thinking about other periods of history in which, why would you do the most business and trade with the countries you hate the most? That doesn't make sense. Like, if we're going to war with China, where China's our main, enemy, which has been obvious from years upon years ago. Russia's not our main enemy, it's China. Why do we continue to trade with them and have things in it? I know there's tariffs, but we've been trading with China, giving them resources, helping them industrialize, trading with them, boosting their economy. We've been trading and boosting our biggest enemy for decades. When you boost your enemy, your biggest ideological, nemesis, you're going to become more like them because you're not completely standing against them. America 100% stood against communism, but we don't do that with China. That's the problem, bro. We're becoming more like China every single day, bro.
Person or not, we don't do that. Trump taps Palantir to create a master database on every American.
Mr. Teal, do you have any comments about Palantir's surveillance of the American people, sir? Or any of your connections to Jeffrey Epstein?
Yes, bro. See, you see how the government's trying to be secretive, bro? That's what they're trying to do, everything to avoid releasing the Epstein files, which I don't think they're going to be released. They're not going to be released because they know it will ruin them.
People are rather concerned about that last particular one. You're setting up a Big Brother surveillance system, and people know it, sir. You think the American people want this surveillance tech being used against them? Any comments at all on the Epstein connections?
Nope.
You're meeting with them. People are waking up to what you're doing there, sir. That's why we're here covering this.
So now
trying to cover that, bro. People are waking up, bro. People are waking up. People are realizing, the government does not have our best interest at heart at all. They don't care about us, bro. We waking up, bro. We realizing that they on straight nonsense.
The company is going to have data about every single American, which AI can use to judge if you've been a good boy or not.
That's quite literally the most 1984 thing I've ever heard in my life. The government can use technology, AI software, and things of that nature to spy on you and to judge if you've been a good, loyal lapdog or just a normal person or a rebel or whatnot. If that's not dystopian, I don't know what is. I don't know what is, bro. What is it going to take for people to realize that the government is trying to kill its own society? What is it going to take?
The most dystopian shit I've ever seen. We're all used to the fact that social media companies store your data to serve you more personalized ads, but this is crazy because this is a file on who you are as a person, including every single detail of your life, including the IRS, social security, immigration databases. This is some Metal Gear Solid shit. It will pull all the data together and then AI will quote-unquote profile behavior.
Bro, I'm seeing AI be used in school, bro. Well, our AP test, right? Our AP test, you know what I'm saying? They use AI to grade them. They don't even have real, graders doing. They have AI doing all this, bro. You know what I'm saying? Bro, I've never seen a country so actively try to hoe itself, bro. I ain't gonna hold you, you know what I'm saying? I've never seen a country do this hard and this damn just to hoe itself, bro. I ain't gonna lie.
Detect fraud and identify individuals or patterns deemed risky by the system.
Risky by the system. The system, bro. How obvious can you get?
Basically, they will police you based on what the AI thinks you might
They'll police you thinking what the AI might do. Might. Keyword might.
do in the future. Where if they think you're a threat, the police might pull up on you based on the assessment of AI. I don't want AI making decisions about people, man. But Palantir is not the only one using AI for dystopian national defense. OpenAI also landed a $200 million contract with the Pentagon. Like, look at this. On the right, they're framing it as OpenAI is just going to explore the military industry to address national security challenges. And on the left, it tells you that, yeah, it's gonna be used for war. And also gives you the information right there that to make this deal, OpenAI quietly ended their promise of using AI for military purposes. I was able to quickly understand how this story
Yo, sour ground news, bro.
QR code on screen. Thank you, Ground News. Especially when the company is ran by a guy who literally understands that his ideology is too unpopular and the public would never accept it. So he's grateful for technology because he can force it on people.
Yes, the public would never accept this. I even think the most authority-loving people who think that the government should do most of the stuff, would understand that, yeah, that's way too much. I understand that the government should have power to do and enforce laws, but to this extent, to where, oh yeah, we can just use the AI database to spawn you and determine if you've been a good, loyal lapdog, it's freaking ridiculous. It's actually insane. He knows nobody would go with this. He's just so happy that AI and technology have come to a point where he can force it on the populace.
With technology, using donations to politicians and his own tech.
The basic idea was that we could never win an election on getting certain things because we were in such a small minority. But maybe you could actually unilaterally change the world without having to constantly convince people and beg people and plead with people who are...
The reason most people don't want to be with you is because you suck, bro. The reason most people don't support you and your ideas is because they're very insane.
never going to agree with you through technological means. And this is where I think technology is this incredible alternative to politics.
Also, most of the clips I have been using beforehand was from the co-founder, the chairman, not even the CEO. So let's hear him out.
Well, I love the idea of getting a drone and having light fentanyl-laced urine spraying on analysts who tried to screw us.
Nigga, what? Nah, go back. Nah, what the?
Fentanyl-laced... Yep.
That and no, bro, what? Bro, what are we talking? What are we doing, bro?
I personally would not condone spraying fentanyl on negative analysts with a drone. I personally would call you insane.
I'd call you an insane person.
If someone said that. But I'm not American, you know, here in Eastern Europe, we prefer corrupt oligarchs as leaders that probably don't have their separate islands. Probably, though, I don't know for sure. He also said that the US will very likely fight a three-front war against Russia, China, and Iran.
No, why us? No, stop, bro. Oh yeah, we need to fight a war. No, who is we, sir? Who is we? There is no we in this. I did not agree to try to fight a three-front war with China, Russia, and Iran. Why does the US government think the populace want war? Why do you think we want war? Oh, we have the strongest military on the planet. It don't matter. Nobody wants to fight for the government, bro. With how expensive stuff is, with how hard it is to find a mate, and how radicalized the American populace is, both left and right wings, you really think that the US government, you really think that people are going to bond together over an offensive war, not a defensive war, no, an offensive war, in areas that most Americans either don't know about or just don't care about? You really think that we're going to band together? Bro, it's been 80 some years since Pearl Harbor, bro. We're not banding together, bro. US government, you need to realize that people don't like you. We don't mess with you, bro. We seeing through the nonsense, the Epstein file cover up, whatever this is, we seeing through it, bro. We seeing through it. The whole staff is with Trump's best buddies. We see what you're doing. You're not slick. You are not slick, bro. You're not, bro. We not with you, bro.
And I'm not gonna lie,
I guarantee you, if they tried to do a war with China and Russia, America would just collapse. I guarantee you, there would be a revolts, revolutions, all that. I'm not lying to you, bro.
You can take Russia and Iran out together. I sincerely believe that. But I don't know how the fuck you're planning to add China to that list.
I don't know how you plan on trying to fight China, which has our greater industrial base than us and 4 times our population. I understand that China's military is most likely not as good as ours, but how do you plan on trying to unite people against China, which is not only our biggest trading partner or one of our biggest trading partners, but bro, Americans are not going to die for Beijing. They're not dying to go to Beijing, bro. They're not gonna die for DC now. You gotta understand that, bro.
I know the company's main goal is to make America's enemies afraid, but Russia, Iran, and China together? Bro, China has a bazillion people, bro, and good
but our biggest enemy is China.
the military. There's no way. Mr. Karp said that we are very, very close to Terminator robots.
Bro, that's not good. Bro, did they not listen to the movies, my nigga? They didn't listen to the movies, bro.
What? AI Terminator robots? Oh
Bro, what are we doing, bro?
my god, man. What
Stop getting clankers, bro. I don't care, bro. Stop.
the fuck? So not only are we determining who is good or bad with AI, but now we are...
We have robots. Did they not watch any of these Terminator movies? Did they not watch any of these? Did they not watch a single movie, bro? Bro.
doing Terminator robots. I don't think I can trust a company whose whole business model
Is 1984. I'm not trusting a 1984 ass company, bro.
determining who is good or bad with data, and side by side they would have Terminator robots. I just don't think those two
Could you be even more evil if you tried? Like,
would mix well, you know. In 2017, Google won a Pentagon contract, Project Maven, which would help the military use Google's AI to analyze drone footage, and then the employees protested, telling the CEO that Google should not be in the business of war. And soon
Google should just be used to do info on like regular topics.
after, Google backed away from the project, but then Palantir came through saying, Silicon Valley is telling the average American, I will not support your defense needs, while selling products that are adversarial to America. That is a loser position. And
Bro, such your 19484 ass up, bro.
picked up that contract 2 years later. I think the government side of Palantir is the worst side, honestly, because I don't really see how fucking Wendy's using Palantir can be of many daily dangers, but a government making a file on every single person
A government making a file on every single person, that doesn't seem dystopian to you, my nigga. That don't seem crazy.
with AI determining whether they're a good boy or a bad boy can most definitely be used wrong, because even fucking like Ferrari and Airbus uses Palantir to streamline their production process, but to have AI deem you risk.
Yeah, like using it for supply chains is one thing, but using it to have a dead ass file on every American is crazy. A moment of reckoning has arrived for the West. Our culture's fallen to the shadow, consumed on abandoning national purpose. Two feeling Silicon Valley asked, so we have to be on why. No, bro, this is crazy.
Risky or not, based on your behavior, combined with the fact that ICE got massive salary raises, it cannot be good for the immigrants, as we already saw, but for already born and raised Americans, it can also fuck you up, because Palantir's Gotham software determines who gets flagged for closer scrutiny by...
I ain't gonna hold y'all, bro. If this gets, bro, I have to die before this gets bigger, bro. I ain't gonna hold you. I have to pass away before this becomes widely used. I'm not gonna lie to y'all, bro. The moment this goes, bro, I have to fight, bro. Nah, bro, this is the breaking point, bro. I don't know how good this video might do, bro, but yeah, this is dead ass crazy. Like, we can't just let this slide, bro. You can't let it slide.
By law enforcement and immigration officers with their predictive policing. You cannot predict what I'll do. I put a dildo on my ear pretending I was talking to Olaf Scholz. You cannot predict this. So if the AI predicts that you might be on some bullshit in its own eyes, you will get flagged for closer scrutiny from law enforcement. I don't want fucking Palantir GPT sending my file to the police because I texted my friend, I think Israel is killing too many people.
I don't want the fucking government on my nuts about some like, oh yeah, bro, he said that the government is doing too much. You gotta get him out of here. Could you be more Joseph Stalin-esque? Could you be more obvious what this is? I don't think, honest to God, don't think you could.
Evilly. I just don't think anyone should have this amount of power.
No one should have this amount of power. Absolute power corrupts absolutely. That is a saying that's going to be timeless. You give someone the keys to every city without any repercussions, they're going to go mad. Why do you think the US, when the Constitution was being drafted, implemented a... You know why they implemented the sharing of powers, the separation of powers between 3 different branches? It's because if they didn't, one side or one position would have limitless power to do what they wanted.
Government or anything, because at this point you just have to pray they are good people instead of lunatics who would use it against you. But it's like having nukes. It's better that nobody fucking has it, because all it takes is Pakistan and India beefing more and we are all dead, because this technology will get transferred to other countries as well, you know, and all it takes is one eating up with this technology. They also did some sus shit in JP Morgan where, according to the report, using the technology, JP Morgan looked for signs of upset and irritated employees to help prevent insider threats against the company. This was done by looking at GPS locations, emails, transcripts from recorded calls,
Bro, we gotta stop, bro.
as well as
Is there no limit?
past history of the employee. The program even took it as far as physically watching suspects after hours. Oh my god, man, I would be so fucking pissed if I found out my office job was watching me after work.
After hours? I'm not even on the clock, dickhead.
Oh, I was pulling night shifts at 18 and you're gonna watch me after that as well? I would have fucking crashed out. I was being paid.
So not only is people working and barely making it out, but when you finally get off the clock, you can't even do what you want to do no more, bro.
$400 a month working night shifts. On top of that, if they spied on me, I would fucking tweak. Then they would have an actual threat on their hands. No, that's a joke. That's a joke. That's a joke, man. I would never hurt a fly. I always thought that these people who install Linux and shit and switch to all these privacy first software were a bit too paranoid.
Nah, they right. Nah, bro, it was on to something, bro. All the dudes with all the VPNs and all that, I ain't gonna hold y'all. They saw the vision, bro.
But they were completely correct. Having AI determine if you should be investigated by the police cannot be a good idea. So there's a lot of things you can do to make your data more private. For messaging, Signal is the best application by far, because even the American government uses it, and Edward Snowden, who was a massive whistleblower. For web browsing, Firefox or Brave browser is the best, and I don't know anything else, and I'm not being paid to say any of this, but also I'm pretty sure Windows watches me jack off. I'm like 80% certain there is no way an operating system should lag as much as Windows does on my fucking monster computer.
Windows be holding the hell out of me, bro. I ain't gonna
This
lie.
month I did 3 videos in a month, bro. You should subscribe only for that. Anyways, thank you so much for watching, and like and subscribe, and goodbye.
Yeah, y'all could not be more than 1984 if y'all try, but hey, man, that was that video about God 2. Watch out for what the government's doing, bro. Pay attention to ground news. Get the own info. Don't watch CNN or Fox News, because obviously they're both prospectively left and right wing media. They're gonna try to manipulate it, you know what I'm saying? So make sure to watch out for that. Do your own research. Stay well informed, because the government is banking on people not being well informed and people being too weak to fight back to gain absolute power. But with that being said, stay healthy, stay wealthy, and stay blessed. It's your boy Jay, and I'm out.